Amen. And we live in a day and age in which church people are so accustomed to mediocrity. And I say all the time at the Fountain of Praise in Houston that our enemy is not necessarily the devil or our flesh. In many cases, our enemy is a word called average. We are so prone to being average and ordinary that we miss the fact that God is an extraordinary God who has done and is doing extraordinary things in our lives. And we ought to give God praise and thanks and our very best for who he is. Just sit down for a moment. Just sit down for a moment. Let me just talk to you for a moment, because I feel that that's the thing that God has been impressing upon me all this year. At our church, I've been preaching through this idea of greatness. And Bishop Benjamin, Dr. Cornel West was with us on last week, and we had a chance to dialogue in depth from the subject matter, success versus greatness, and how timely it was, because I think that the only people that have not really caught the vision of God are the people that are the custodians of that vision. Church people have missed the idea of greatness. Now, I mean that. I mean this, I'm sorry. We know what the term means, but we never make the term readily available in our own lives. For instance, we are quick to use the word or term greatness, a great God, a great faith, great grace, but we rarely use the term as it relates to ourselves. Because when we use the word great as it relates to ourselves, we are surrounded by people that will hold that principle hostage in our lives by telling us that what you say represents arrogance, conceit, ignorance, or craziness. And then we wonder why our children do not aspire for great things. It is so interesting that the Jewish nation teaches their sons and daughters from the time that they are babies that because they're chosen to be great. And yet we do not foster those principles in our children's lives.